and thank you, audience, for having me. Just sharing my presentation file with you. I know we have 10 minutes, and this is what we're going to talk about, Akiva Metaverse. So what is really Akiva Metaverse, right? A lot of very astute scholars and venture capitalists and nowadays actually struggle to conceptualize the actual use cases where Metaverse and specifically Web3 is going to produce the value for humans on this earth. Well, I have no problems doing that, and I will do it in 10 minutes. Basically, an intersection of three major technology-driven shifts: education technology, edtech, health tech, medtech, and the metaverse. And what is it? Akiva Metaverse is actually a platform that is already built, it's functioning. It has 10 worlds that we've built. If you like dragons, you can be in the world of dragons. If you like space, you can be in the world of space, and so on. We have multiple avatars, over 200 digital objects, 46 learning modules. We've onboarded over 1,076 users worldwide. But most exciting is that we have analytics, machine learning, predictive and prescriptive behind the metaverse, so that the interactions that you make inside of the metaverse could help you achieve certain objectives. And I will talk in a little bit what those objectives are specifically for us. So we focus on a very specific niche, which is called neurodiversity, or people who are neurodivergent. For those of you who don't know, neurodivergent individuals are those who have autism or ADHD, or combination of those, dyslexia, Tourette's, Alzheimer's, and a few others, right? So those are individuals that we service, and cater to, right? But then, as we successfully building our services towards them, and I will show you in a moment how and why. Right, there are just a variety of other use cases that exist in digital twin, in education, and healthcare, medtech, and so on, which could be realized and will be realized on our platform. And this is exactly where we're going. So I could not be more excited about the metaverse, what it is today and what it will be tomorrow, right? So let's talk a little bit about why am I talking in front of you and why me? As a kid, I used to remember that I was an avid reader and I really loved to read. Mark Twain was one of my favorite authors, and he said it once that there are two most important days in your life. One is when you're born, and the second day is when you figured out why. So for me personally, that day was actually September 11, 2012, where my son Akiva was diagnosed with severe autism. So as we went on a journey with my son Akiva, and we'll continue on the journey, at the time, his diagnosis was very dire. The doctor said he will never speak, he will never be independent, he will never be individualistic, he basically will not have dignity in his life, right? To which I just couldn't take the diagnosis to my heart, and I evolved to find alternative methodologies to actually give my son access to what this beautiful life has for him, right? And as we're going through this journey, Akiva has become an inspiration to thousands of different families. And one of the reasons why we named our company Akiva Metaverse is because of the inspiration that he has become, and because of the methodology that we put into Akiva Metaverse, which resulted in his amazing progress. So despite the diagnosis, Akiva today is actually not just speaking, he is bilingual. He's going to a mainstream school. He has the best friend. He's an avid reader. He's amazing at math, and he's starting to learn how to program in Metaverse, right? So all of those things that were potentially impossible are actually possible. And as I was going through this journey, and me being a technology professional for my 25 years career, I couldn't help but think how many other parents and individuals that didn't have access, didn't have opportunity, didn't have ability to to get the right resources and to get the skills that are important for individuals like Akiva to thrive in life, right? And so I got together with two of my co-founders who are also fathers of autistic individuals. So each of us shared the same thing. And then we put together a small friends and family fundraising event that allowed us to hire the best and the brightest team of engineers, graphic designers to build what Akiva Metaverse is today, right? And we couldn't have done it without the vision and the mission. And, as you the children here on the slide are enjoying being in the Akiva Metaverse, and they're interacting with the very exciting environment. But while they're interacting, it's important that they're learning and they're getting to the next milestones, and they're on the road to have a successful future, right? And so our goal and our mission has become to ensure that each of the 1.1 billion individuals, that's how many neurodivergent individuals are in the world, have the affordable access to educational system that will enable them to develop their unique abilities to succeed and thrive in life. Talking a little bit about the problem, I mentioned the very large number of neurodivergent individuals in the world, 1.1 billion. That's typically a 15% of population, and all of the studies that we've seen correlate that regardless of the country of your origin or your residence, it is actually correct. There's 15% of population who is neurodivergent, which is a very staggering number if you think about it. So in order to successfully cater to those individuals and to provide them the access to educational system and care, there are three major shifts right now, and that's where the Metaverse, Akiva Metaverse specifically, comes to help. There are significant cost barriers to the meaningful help. The resource intensivity is very high because you have to have a team of specialists, speech pathologists, PT, OT, behavioral specialists, and many others that work with one individuals. And then last but not the least, those individuals typically collect results in error-prone methods. So there is no systematic approach to it. So these are the three fundamental problems that Akiva Metaverse resolves, right? How do we do? In many different countries, North America is specifically lucky because there is a large number of specialists that dedicate their life and career to help neurodivergent individuals, right? But in countries of Western and Eastern Europe and Asia Pacific, this virtually does not exist. And so the problem is that the families are succumbed to a process where they have to wait months and sometimes years to see a specialist, right? Whereas Akiva Metaverse can onboard, anyone in a matter of 10 minutes and create a baseline by which our analytic process behind the scenes, our machine learning algorithms will be able to define a specific baseline of these core important skills: sensory, gesture, behavior, attention, communication, speech. And then we create a personalized plan that allows the individuals to achieve evidence-based results in a data-driven way. In other words, when I talk about data-driven, evidence-based use cases, this is a specific example of how we achieve results, right? We use several different learning modules. This particular learning module is called Imitator 2. And in Imitator 2, we teach an individual to draw attention to themselves, which is a specific move and a spoken language that is being used and its best methodology, right? So this particular individual here, user ID 28, has been using this module for the average of 5 times per week for 3 months, and we demonstrated 17% improvement. Now, that may seem not like a big deal, but for a parent of an autistic child who does not communicate, I will tell you it's a huge deal in such a short period of time, right? And this is just a very small example of how we provide a specific access and opportunity to improve, to succeed, and to thrive in life. A little bit about our, because this is a technology session, right? So I would like to talk a little bit about the infrastructure that we use. So in the middle, we use the Meta Quest 2 or Oculus Quest 2 that's built by Meta, also known as Facebook. It's the device that the kid behind me is wearing. This is how we deliver the experience, the virtual reality experience, right? We also use several enterprise tools to manage the identity within different areas and subjects, and also enterprise tools to be compliant with HIPAA, GDPR, and so on. Right, so these tools are Okta and PlayFab. We also partner on the technology side with Microsoft Azure, and that is our provider for analytics and data storage. We use Unity that allows us portability to different virtual reality headsets should they become better than Meta Quest 2 in the future. And last but not least, we have a mobile platform that's available for parents, grandparents, and individuals around the world, professionals, to use and see exactly what's happening at that particular time with this particular individual inside of the metaverse, which is very exciting, right? Very quickly, in terms of the competition, there are 3 competitors that we have in the market. 2 of them, Autism Glass and Brain Power, chose Google Glass as augmented reality platform. Florio has created a mobile app, and they put the mobile app inside of the enclosure, so it's not truly virtual reality or metaverse, but they do have a large library of virtual reality learning modules that are delivered in augmented reality. Having said that, they cannot get the data in the same way we can, and they cannot analyze it the same way we can, and cannot focus on the specific evidence-based improvement use cases, which are speech, imitation, attention, sensory, gestures, and behavior. Right. And now I would like to, just on time, give you a demo and a flavor of how Akiva Metaverse works. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for having me. I know I have about 4 minutes to answer any of your questions, so please let me know if you have questions.